So, tell us, Hiranmai, your journey from South Africa to India. How did it all happen?
Well, it happened from South Africa to India. It happened very fast, actually. It wasn't something that was really under my control. Many years I met my guru, Paramahansa Sri Swami Vishwananda, and what I had planned was a very different idea for what he had planned for me. And I think often we all kind of see that in our own lives, you know, what we have in our minds of what we're going to be doing and what actually happens is a different story. So about 4 years ago, actually, it was already started for a while. I was in a relationship and I was very happy. And I was already on the spiritual path. So, and I was already with my guru and with the organization Bhakti Marga. But I felt for myself, I felt something that was not satisfied. And I felt something that I couldn't really explain it because I was happy in my life. And also like you said, I was practicing Ayurveda and I was happy. But there was something inside of me that I couldn't ignore. And it wasn't being pacified from the outside. It didn't make a difference how many people I saw or how much love or appreciation was from the outside or even my fulfillment in that way. I knew that there was something else that I was meant to do, that my dharma was different. And that's something that's, I mean, it's not for everybody. I know in terms of my path and my guru also, most people are householders and there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. But for myself, I knew it. And many years ago when I met him, he said something to me, but I didn't want to hear it. For a long time, I wanted to do what I wanted to do, yeah. So then everything changed very fast. As soon as I got initiated as a Atma Kriya yoga teacher, something must have woken up inside of me. And there was an amazing experience that I had, a spiritual experience, which gave me the confidence to be able to leave, because that was something scary for me. I was very attached to my ex-boyfriend, to my family. I'm very much a family person. But this confidence in what he showed me propelled me forward, that I just knew I had to really just trust God and really just have faith in what it is that I felt and listen to myself and what he was telling me and not everybody else's opinions.
So when universe intervenes, so everything falls in place itself.
It's true. It was nothing under my control. I never would have been able to orchestrate any of it or really even had the confidence or any of it to leave. I felt almost like there was no choice inside of me at this point. You know, already there was something inside of me that everything was being finished for me. I lost, even as much as I loved Ayurveda and everything, I lost interest in the outside world. So, yeah, this.
So tell us, Hiranmai, how did you get a chance to meet your guru? Where did you meet him first, and what happened?
So I was I was studying drama. I used to study drama. It was like a long time ago, 23 years old. And I was in acting school and I was in my final year. And already back then I was practicing Kriya yoga with a master. I don't know if you know him, Paramahansa Yogananda. There was a very famous book he wrote, Autobiography of a Yogi.
Yes.
So I fell in love with him when I read this book. And I remember thinking, oh my God, if only I had the chance to meet somebody like this in my life. You know, he spoke about things about God realization. He spoke about things that, you know, we're not here just to enjoy ourselves, and we're not here just to, you know, have families and have work and make ourselves happy. But we're here for a deeper dharma and a deeper purpose. And I knew this. I remembered this when I read it. And I thought, God, I really want to meet somebody like this that can really help me. And it was not very long after. Already I started to do Kriya Yoga with Yogananda. And then my mom told me about a saint from Mauritius, that there was a God-realized man. He was very young. Guruji must have been back then maybe 25 years old.
Wow.
But he was, yeah, he was young. But he was born God-realized. So from a child, he already had siddhis. He was already making miracles possible. He already knew everything. He already went into full samadhi at the age of 14. And the state never went back. So for him, he was always different. And I heard about him. And my mom said to me, he's very much like Yogananda. Do you want to meet him? And I was like, yeah, of course I want to meet him. But I was already practicing for rehearsals. So I asked my director and I said, will you let me go? And he said, no, you can't get off. And I was like, okay. I was like, please, can I go? And he said, okay, just tonight you go.
Wow.
So I went and I met him, and he was doing something called darshan, which is, here in India, it's very different. In India, you know, we think about saints or gurus or even deities that we have their darshan. So we see them and then it's finished.
Yeah.
But it's very different how he does darshan, because for him, it's a personal blessing to each and every person. So for example, I mean, like in Portugal, there was 5,000 people. So individually, he saw 5,000 people. And what he does, it looks like he's looking in your third eye, but he can see your soul. And he can see all of your past lives, and he can see all of your future lives, because he's God realized. So what he said is that when he looks at you, he can see like these black dots. And this is our karma. And what he does is he takes whatever he can onto himself so that we can move forward spiritually. And this is a huge part of what Guruji does. And we'll speak later, but actually now he's doing it online, which is incredible. So I went for this darshan. And for me, when I saw him, there was something inside of me that recognized him, but he never spoke to me. And it wasn't like a very dramatic thing that I felt. But the next thing in the morning, my mom phoned me and she said to me, my name used to be Morel before I got initiated. She was like, I'm going again. Do you want to come with me? And I was like, there's no way I can go. Like, I can't. I've got rehearsals. 2 minutes later, the director phoned me and said, I'm sorry, your part in the play has been cancelled. Yeah. And this was my final exam. So the play went on without me. And so I got to go back that night. And that night he spoke to me and he said to me, stay behind. I want to speak with you. And I remembered a crippled woman. She was in a wheelchair. She went in. It was me and her. And she walked out. And when I saw this, I thought, oh my God. And then I went inside. And when he saw me, it was like he saw me yesterday. That's what it was like. And he was very loving and very warm. and he manifested a picture for me, because he's able to manifest anything, because there's no limitations with masters like this, no? They're not like us. And he manifested a picture of Yogananda for me. And inside of the picture of Yogananda was himself sitting in Yogananda's throat. And then he said to me, "Do you remember me?" And I was so shocked. I didn't even know what to say, Pooja. I remembered being completely awestruck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's shocking when you don't know that things like this can exist, you know?
Yes.
For me, it was in a book.
Hmm.
And then my life changed very dramatically after meeting him. And many experiences started to happen. But this was then the beginning of meeting something that is so different to what I expected.
So it was your calling actually, which got you there.
It was for sure. And what he says is that actually it's all of our callings. You know, it doesn't really make a difference who your master is or which path even that you go. But for every single one of us, it is this calling for us to go back to what we originally are, which is the true self, which is the Parama Atma, which is the Lord. And we're all on it, you know?